All right. So good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, August 20th. I believe this is week 3 of the Senior Coach to Blended ED Boot Camp. And Adam and I will be hosting this morning. And we're going to be kind of getting into Facebook and ways that, some do's and don'ts and things that you can do to really propel your business forward. So a few housekeeping things before we get going. If everyone could mute themselves, that would be helpful. The second thing is that if you're going to be up and walking around, totally fine, but maybe you could just turn off your video because it's kind of distracting to see people coming and going. And then the other thing is definitely get some paper and pens or whatever to take notes because, like I said, it's kind of a lot of information. And if we could just use the chat section for questions, that would be great. So no extra stuff going on in the chat. It's also super distracting and we want people to stay focused. Okay, but we'll definitely have time at the end for questions. So if questions come up during, don't hesitate to stick them in the chat, but I just didn't want other stuff going on in there. Sound good? All righty, so let me share my screen and we'll get started. Did I say who we were?
No.
Oh, for those of you who don't know us, my name is Emily Flores, and my husband Adam Flores is next to us. We're Integrated National Directors. And I muted them. And yeah, so here we go. Maximizing your business using Facebook. Let me try to make this bigger.
Oh, that's good.
Can everyone, and you can see it, okay? Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Super. All right, so here we go. Maximizing your business using Facebook. So here's some stuff that we're going to be going over today. 1, why is Facebook even important? 2, maximizing your exposure on Facebook. We're going to give you some different ideas of different campaigns that you can run yourself on Facebook. How to stay organized and consistency. I feel like that's like the biggest thing about everything that we do, really. And the last thing we'll be covering briefly is the hundreds conversation from Dan Valentine's Massive Action Plan.
Why Facebook and how has it helped? So, we're just going to get into why we use Facebook and how helpful it is for our business.
Maybe you could mute anyone that you... Okay.
I can't.
So we are just going to be talking about living out loud and how to increase your Facebook presence. Okay, so maximum exposure. Some of the biggest things that you can do to maximize your Facebook presence would be changing your profile picture. These are all things we're going to go over too. So if you don't understand what some of these are, no worries. Changing your profile picture is 1. Growing friends, posting publicly versus privately, timing of your actual posts, the types of posts that you put up, and the difference between commenting and liking. So, Adam, do you want to talk about the Facebook algorithm right there?
I can't see it.
Oh, cool. So Facebook works on an algorithm for those of you that don't know. And what that means is it sort of responds to where you're clicking, where you're commenting, and what you're doing. So as most of you know, we're not seeing everybody's posts that we're friends with on Facebook, and they're not everyone's seeing us. So the more people that you comment on, the more people see your posts. So it's not really about liking, it's more about the comments.
So the importance of changing your profile picture. We think it's really important to change every about 2 to 3 weeks, at least once a month. And sharing before and after pictures, and then every once in a while, just kind of a standalone picture of yourself. And then just always keep it really nice, uplifting, positive, of course, while you're doing that.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, every time you change your profile picture, it comes up in your feed. So it brings more people to your profile. And don't feel like you have to create a bunch of new before and after pictures of yourself. You can just rotate, the same 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I like to use my after picture, like my before picture. And then, if I'm out with the family. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is me today. And then, do like a quick before and after kind of thing.
Okay. Growing friends. So definitely set a goal for yourself. I would try to friend at least 5 people a week. And a good way to go about that would be to look at your friends or, look at your friends' profiles, click on their friends, and try to add people that you have mutual friends with, because it's just more organic and natural. And then whenever you meet new people out in the real world, I always joke that it's the new "what's your number?" Like, everyone is on Facebook, grandmothers, great grandmothers. This is not just a young person's, social media type thing anymore. It's really everybody. So what I do when I meet people at the park, when I'm at the park with my kids or whatever, I'll just say, "Hey, are you on Facebook?" And usually they are, and it's a really great way to connect. If you guys can mute your audio, that would be awesome. I can hear somebody in the kitchen. Okay. So, do you want me to do this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So public versus private. So when you're posting stuff, especially about coaching, we recommend that you do it publicly, because when a public post goes out on Facebook and somebody likes it or comments on it, a public post is going to also show up in their feed. So many people are going to see your post who you're not even friends with, which is a good thing. Some people are uncomfortable with doing fully public profiles. So you have 2 options. One would be to post your Take Shape for Life stuff publicly, and then maybe things that about your family or whatever, put it private. My only thought on that is that if somebody comes and looks at your profile who isn't friends with you, and all they see is your public stuff, it's going to look all health related, and they're really not going to get a full picture of who you are. So I'm a big fan of just doing everything publicly. And I put this tip in here because, for me, a lot of my coaches are moms, and of course we're worried about our kids, right? And our kids' safety. So I just put, if posting publicly makes you uncomfortable, or if you have fears about that, definitely talk to your mentor. If you can mute, that would be awesome. A common block for especially mothers is being worried about their safety. I've heard a lot of my mom coaches say, what if someone, oh my goodness, I gotta mute. Sorry guys. Let's whoever is on their microwave right now,
Please mute.
Please mute. I don't know. Okay. I hope that's good. Woo. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hopefully that's the last time. Anyways, quick statistic for you. So only 1% of children are ever abducted by a stranger. And I know that sounds crazy that I'm even mentioning it, but I think a lot of people fear. I've heard them say, if I post pictures of my kids on Facebook, I'm scared someone will kidnap them. And so I'm just throwing that out there, that if you're uncomfortable with posting stuff about your kids, like, don't check in at the park that you're at. Don't check in at your kid's school. If I check in places, it's after I've left. So those are some, I know it sounds a little scary, but trust me, many, many coaches have expressed that concern to me. So I thought I would just address it. Hopefully that makes sense.
And remember, you want to live an attractive life. You want people to see what you're doing, how you're enjoying your time. We get people all the time that just, say stuff like, oh, we love seeing you guys, at Disneyland and doing your thing all the time. So that's another great reason. So times to post, the most effective times to post, 5:30 to 6 a.m. That's a really great time to post before and afters. 11 to 11:30 3 to 3:30, 7 to 7:30, 9 to 9:30 occasionally. So yeah, you want to definitely mix those up. But I think early in the morning is probably the best time to post.
All right. And some of you might be thinking, what do I post? Like, I want to post, but I'm just not sure. So you want to keep these things in mind. Just become captivating online, living out loud, being authentic, being relatable, being interesting, and being just bring some kind of value to the Facebook world. So here are some suggestions for you.
All right. Personal, family, selfies, events and celebrations, uplifting and positive posts, conversational or questions. Those are always good. Throwback pics and video clips are great.
So these are some great ways, because, we definitely want to mix it up. We don't want to, especially if you're not someone who's that active on Facebook and now you're a coach, you don't want to just like vomit coaching stuff all over your friends. So you want to be real and you want to mix it up. So these are some great ideas to mix up what you're posting. People love to be asked questions and they love to give advice and answers. So that's what that means, the conversational or questions. Like, you'll get tons of responses if you ever ask your audience a question. So those are always good.
Yeah.
And then here's health related stuff. So we definitely want to remind people daily that we're coaches, that we're living a healthy life. So some things that you can post that are coaching or health related would be anything motivational, whether it's a video, whether it's a quote, before and afters, recipes, and like healthy tips. Those are always good. Okay. So Facebook campaigns. These are ideas for things that you can launch on your own social media. So remember the 5-to-1 ratio, and I like this because it's easy to remember. So for every 5 non-coaching related posts, you definitely want to post 1 health related post. So, something of your kids, something you made for dinner, something, you're just out and about, your crafting circle, whatever, how hot it is today, whatever. And then 1, maybe a recipe or a before and after. So kind of keep it a 5-to-1 ratio. As we mentioned, you definitely don't want to just be coaching or posting a ton of coaching stuff. You want to mix it up. A good tip might be just on the weekends to post personal stuff, and then Monday through Friday, post coaching stuff. So some good examples, I'm sure you guys have seen this, Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Water Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, Fitness Friday. So if you feel like you need ideas on what to post, those are some cool little campaigns.
So some great ways to simplify this, because you guys are probably like, well, where do I get these recipes from and all this other great stuff? Hootsuite's really good. It's just a free online program that allows you to schedule your posts to Facebook and social media. You can go in ahead of time and schedule them for the month, for the week, whatever you want. You create daily posts all at one time. Set up all your before and afters for the month in one sitting. So
and a lot of you I know work full-time still. This isn't your only gig, and so it might sound overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, I need to post on Facebook that much, like I do have a job. So Hootsuite is a wonderful way that you can just sit down once a month and Nancy, could you mute yourself, please? So Hootsuite is a wonderful way that you can sit down and then post all your before and afters for the month and then just be done. And then it posts for you. So I'm I was a huge fan of Hootsuite. I still am. But Cinduit is something that I use now. It's not required. We're just letting you know that it's there. It's $29 a month. And what they've done is the people at Cinduit are working very closely with Take Shape for Life Leadership. And they've basically created social media campaigns for us. So basically you get to pick and choose. So right now I'm running 2 different campaigns. and Adam is too. And one of them posts a healthy recipe every single day for us, and you get to pick what time. And they're also posting daily before and afters, but they have campaigns, with motivational quotes. You can also send emails through Synduit. So if that's something, if you're looking to maybe save time, if the idea of posting all of this stuff is a little overwhelming, I'm a big fan of this because I know if I don't have it simple, I probably will skip it. So if you're concerned about consistency, or if you're trying to do it without any help and it's just not working, maybe talk to your mentor about Hootsuite or Synduit. And don't forget, Hootsuite's free.
Yeah.
So,
and like Emily said earlier, consistency is the key. So we want to stay consistent. We don't just want to post a before and after every, 3.5 weeks or so, because we want people to know that this is serious and this is something that we do and we are.
All right. So staying organized. Something that I've done to stay organized is I would sort of collect pictures. So I would save really cool before and afters that I thought were really outstanding. I would save different quotes that kind of struck me, and I would keep them in folders on my desktop. So I had 2 folders. One would be before and afters that I haven't used yet, haven't posted. And then as I would either use them through Hootsuite, or if I would post them on Facebook, I would just move them over to the used folder so that I didn't repost before and afters I'd already shown. And the same can be done with, photos or quotes or anything else that you'd like to post. So some good ways to find, not before and afters, but a good way to find, motivational quotes or cool pictures to post would be Google image search, Pinterest, or if you're ever on Facebook and you see something that strikes a chord in you, you can save that picture directly from Facebook and repost it yourself.
There we go. The great consistency.
Yes, so this is like the most important thing.
The most important thing of everything, being consistent. So we all know as much as we want, clients aren't going to come overnight. So the more consistently you post, the more people will realize that you're not going anywhere and that this is really legit and something that you believe in. I think most people see it and, they're waiting for it to die out. But when you're just there, they know it's for real. You may not see as many likes or comments on health-related posts. Like, seriously, don't even worry about that, because people are still seeing it and they're always watching, trust me. After about 4 to 6 months, you'll start seeing a flow of people that are really requesting information and contacting you. It just sometimes takes a little bit of time and a little effort on your part of reaching out to people. So now it's definitely more of like, we're signing up at least like 5 people a month just because of Facebook. So the more consistent you are, the more consistent a flow that you'll have. So long as you're adding people, like we said earlier, you're posting consistently with that 5-to-1 ratio, and you're actually reaching out to those people who are liking your stuff and, all that good stuff.
And I'll tell you, just personally, when I started coaching, I had a very closed Facebook profile. So everything was private. I was very conservative about who I friended, who I accepted. I had a lot of concepts around Facebook. And so it took time to build that. It's not like I just posted a before and after and my business exploded. So we really mean it when we say they don't come overnight. I think a lot of people give up after posting before and afters for a couple weeks because they say, well, no one's asking me anything. And the interesting thing is I can post a picture of my kids and get hundreds of likes, and I'll post a before and after and it's like radio silence, you guys. And still, after coaching 3 years, I don't really get a lot of people commenting on before and afters. But I will tell you that when I have an interested call from somebody from Facebook that I don't know, their first thing is, I've been watching all your before and afters. I've been seeing all of your healthy recipes, and it's just so inspiring. So I'm here to tell you from experience that the first thing that people say when I get them on a call is, I've been watching, I've been seeing, I love your before and after. So don't worry if people aren't, blowing up your before and after pictures. It's just a layering tool, and it's really, really effective. So don't think that you're a success or failure based on how many people are liking or commenting on it. Keep doing it. Like it really does take time for people to see that you're being consistent, and that, like I said, that this is like a legit thing.
Yeah, we'll have people come around after like 2 years and say, I've been watching you guys for the past, 2.5 years, 3 years. Okay, what is this? And I'm like, who is this person? They've never liked one picture.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're ready to go. So don't ever give up.
Yeah. Okay, lists. So staying organized is super, super key. So you are going to want to create a list. And this is an example of the master contact list that you can access through Simple Systems. And you can have as many different lists as you'd like. I would recommend having an ongoing list of people who like these health-related posts, or people who comment. So, but you're going to want to have a different list of people who specifically ask, what program are you doing? So let me reiterate. One list is for people just who like it or say, wow, awesome, inspiring. And then the second list is for people who specifically are saying, what program are you doing? What's your secret? Tell me more. So definitely keep 2 lists, okay? And you're going to want to keep adding to these lists weekly.
Yeah. And, we spoke about those Facebook algorithms earlier. What I've been doing is, as I'm adding new people, I try to add a couple people every day, or every other day at least. And as I'm adding new people and they accept my friend request, I write their name down so that I can go back later, look at their page, maybe comment on something, and get into the flow of, my post showing to their Facebook.
That's good. Good work. Okay, so how to handle likes and comments. So getting likes and comments on your health related posts is like gold. Like, this can keep you busy forever. So you definitely don't want to just throw up a post and walk away and never follow up about it. So this applies to every post. It doesn't just have to be a weight related post, and you are going to want to tag their name in the comment section and thank them in your own way. So what that means is Facebook allows you to comment back in 2 ways. One is to press reply and reply to their individual comment, but we don't want to do that. So don't tag their name and thank them in the reply section right under their comment. You want to go down just to the general comments and then tag their name and thank them, because that alerts everybody in the thread versus just them. Okay? So that is what you're going to want to do. Tag them in the comments, thank them in your own way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Whatever's natural for you. I didn't want to give an example because I want you to make this your own. And then you're going to send them a private message. Okay.
So something, like Emily said, make it your own. If this doesn't sound like something you'd say, just, get the idea and say it, how you would say it. So sending them a private message. Hey friend, I need a favor, please. Not sure if I'm a health coach. I have 3 spots open to work with new clients and really invest time in them. If you know anyone wanting to get healthier, lose weight, come off medications, etc., and wants someone to show them how to do it and work with them step by step, would you mind sharing my info with them? I'd really appreciate it. So this is something you could send to people. At this point, some people will respond. A lot of people will not respond. No big deal. Don't feel like, oh my God, nobody's responding to me, I'm not going to ever do this again. That's like the worst thing you could do. We'll just follow up with those people, in a few weeks or so. And see if they're willing to help us later. But some people are busy. Most people are, and they just don't, they just don't get around to replying to you. So don't let that totally crush your day.
Yeah, try to be as detached as possible from the outcome, you guys. This really isn't about us. We're reaching out to people, and we can't expect a certain response or reaction back. So send the message, send it with love, and just if they respond, great. And if not, please don't get hung up on that, because that's the kind of stuff that could potentially hold you back. Okay, so these are the kind of responses that you'll get from sending that message. Some people will say, sure, no problem. What can I do? And then you'll just say, great. Can I give you a quick call later to briefly explain what I do and tell you what to send them? Not want, but what. And your friend will say, sure. And then you'll get their number and call them. So you're going to just want to call them authentically and tell them what you're doing. I really like to get in the zone before I call someone. So I'm really centering myself around my journey, because I'm about to tell them, how I felt before, what happened, and how I feel now. And so I kind of have to go back to that place so that I can really convey that to them. Because it was 3 years ago. So sometimes I'm, going about my day. I'm not super connected to how I felt before, but I think conveying that emotion to somebody in the phone call is what can really make a big difference.
So here is the call. Building authentic relationships, asking many questions about them and their life. That's the key questions. If you get stuck on something, just ask them questions. Let them know why you're passionate about this program and the coaching opportunity. Ask if they know people who can benefit. Everybody does. Ask what's the best way to put in contact with referrals, so people that they may know in their world, and just be genuine and keep the relationships moving forward. Nobody ever wants to feel used or anything. So you always want to let them know that, this is a genuine relationship. Check in from time to time. It doesn't have to be always about coaching. Just, hey, how's it going? I love that picture of the kids. You guys are looking awesome. All that good stuff. Just be really genuine and authentic. And if you think it sounds like it's going to take a lot of time, it really doesn't. Just set aside, a few minutes of your day, on days that you can do it, and, use that time to really, that's what the lists are so good for, because you can be really effective by seeing your lists and, remembering who to touch that day.
Okay. So after the call is just as important. So after you talk to somebody, you're going to want to send them a follow-up email within 24 hours of talking to them. I try to do it so that I'm not busy right after the call and I can send it right away, because the way my life goes, I will not remember unless I do it right away. And then you're going to want to add their email address to your connections list in your binder system or in your Gmail or however you keep your connections. Make sure you're friends with them on Facebook if you're not already friends. Follow up within 48 hours to make sure they got your information, or if any friends come to mind. So what I do is I call and I just say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you got my email, because sometimes stuff goes to spam. And then it's also my opportunity to say, did you get a chance to look at it? And a lot of times people haven't because they're busy. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you some time to look at it, and then we'll reconvene and you can tell me if you think of anyone who maybe came to mind. And then you're going to follow up with your connections every couple of weeks. So that can be sending a connections email or whatever works for you.
So you'll get, occasionally from time to time, oh, I love that picture. What's your secret? Tag their name individually in the comment section and say, hey, so-and-so, check your inbox. I'll private message you some information. And then, like Emily said, don't tag their name in the reply section, because you want everybody to see that, so that other people will say, send me information too. You can also say, just check your inbox. The sooner you tag their name and reply with that verbiage, the better. Others will not follow suit and ask you to also not follow suit.
They will follow suit.
Others will follow suit and ask you to send them information. So yeah, you'll do that, and other people will kind of tag along and say something like, send me information too. Yeah, I want to know.
The nature of humans is, I call it FOMO, FOMO. People have a fear of missing out. So if they're seeing a post and everyone's like, what's your secret? And you're saying like, oh, I'll message you. people are dying to know and not be left out of the loop. So they'll be like, well, message me too. Don't forget me. I want to know. So, but you can't wait till like 10 hours later. So the sooner you do it, the more activity and the more success you'll have with people asking what the heck is going on.
Totally. And a lot of times people don't want to be the first one to ask.
Yes,
so after somebody asks, it opens the floodgates. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So here's what you would send. So the private message would say, hey, I definitely want to tell you more about the program I'm doing. Are you asking for yourself or a friend? So I love this because we don't want to assume that they're asking for themselves and then possibly offend them. So whenever someone expresses interest, my first question is always, do you want to know for you, or did you have someone in mind, or, so no matter what the answer is, whether they say, yeah, it's for me, or no, I was thinking about my mom. Either way, when can I give you a quick call to kind of explain, what we do and how it works? I'm available today at these times, tomorrow at these times, what works for you? So don't be afraid to get on the phone as soon as possible. I used to say, I wasn't direct, and I would say, when would be a good time for you? And I'm talking to a lot of moms who are super busy and don't have a lot of time to talk on the phone. And I think that question was too overwhelming. And I have a lot of them say, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. And then nothing ever happens. So every single time what I do, when do you have time today or tomorrow to talk? We're both moms, we're both busy, we'll figure it out. And that works so much better. So I really recommend not being afraid to be direct about the times. And then when you get on the call, you guide them through the three-way Zoom outline that's in the Simple Systems. I was going to say something else. Oh, something else that I also say is, instead of saying, let me call you so I can tell you all about the program, I'll say, let me call you so that you can tell me more about what you want, what your goals are, and then we'll see if it's a good fit. And I really like that because you're letting them know that you really want to talk to them and know what they want. And it's not just a call for you to be the one talking, giving them all the information. You would much rather get to know where they're at and and I like saying, see if it's a good fit, because then it also takes the pressure off, because a lot of people feel like, oh gosh, if I get on the phone and I'm not ready, I'm going to feel bad saying no. And some people might avoid getting on the phone because no one wants to tell someone no, or tell them they can't afford it or whatever it is. So if you say, I just want to see if it's a good fit, I feel like that takes a lot of pressure off, because maybe it's not a good fit, although we know everyone could fit into this program. But for them, it's nice to hear. It's just kind of a relief. So again, some will get back to you. Many people will not. It's not about you. It's not a big deal. You'll follow up later and see if they're still interested at another time. So do you see a pattern here? We don't want you to get hung up on that stuff.
All right. So here is the hundreds list. So you're going to have a new list of 100 people every single month who are going to create authentic conversations with. And you might think, well, how am I going to get all those people on the list? And what you're going to do is you're going to just keep adding people on Facebook. That's the amazing thing about this. So as you do that, people will come to mind, your uncle, your aunt, the guy at the grocery store, the guy who, I don't know, washes your car, whatever it is. And you're just going to write everybody down. So that doesn't mean you're going to, attack everybody with this, but you're just going to have their names written down, because it's going to free up space in your mind to think of other people. So with this list, this is really great. So, this just keeps everything organized. Are we friends on Facebook? Yes. I friend requested them. Go like a comment or something. Send them a private message. They engaged with in convo with me. Kept convo going. They mentioned or asked about health. Took the convo to the phone. And yes, they choose health. So all those little things, as you go along, you start filling this out. You remember where people are at, and then you know how to touch them from time to time when you go back over this. this was really good for me. I've started a lot of conversations where I just, hey, how's it going? And like one of the first things that comes up is, great, I really love all your motivational stuff. Again, people who have never liked anything of mine. What's the deal with the weight loss stuff? What are you doing with this weight? What's up with this health coach thing? You guys look like you're having so much fun all the time. So it really just keeps things in order. And for us, that's, timing is key. We want to maximize our time. So that's what this is going to do.
And if you haven't seen this document or you're not sure where it is, it's in the Simple Systems, Ask Your Mentor. And it's a separate PDF that you can print off every month, because every month you're going to make a brand new list of 100 people. And here's how you're going to get through it. So, let me back up a little bit. So, like I said, brand new list of 100 people every single month. Don't feel overwhelmed by this. It's actually a lot easier than it seems. But the most important thing about the hundreds list is to actually do the hundreds list. So it is no use to anybody to just make a list and then not do it. So by the first of every single month, you should have 100 people written down, and you are going to systematically do this. So massive action, what you're going to do. So if you message 10 people a day for the first 10 days of the month, that's your 100 conversations. That's just an example of how to do it. You can do 5 a day. It'll just take more days. It's up to you. But again, the key is just to do it, right? So I just put some examples of different ways to start conversations. So we are not leading with coaching. We're not leading with an agenda. This is about getting to know our friends and just checking in and say hi. So, hey, Susie, it's been so long. I love seeing all your posts. What's new? Hey, girl, what's up? I just saw your Facebook post and thought I would say hi. What's up, dude? I just saw that picture of you and your family. I love seeing your posts. So whatever verbiage is you, use it. Be yourself. Be genuinely interested. And what I'll do is I will move through my list. So, okay, Susie, before I message her, I'm going to go to her page. I'm going to like 2 different things, and I'm going to comment on 1. And then I'm going to message her. So this also changes the algorithms on your Facebook. So not only are you talking to 100 new people every month, but you're also changing who can see your stuff. So it works in a million different ways, but it's very, very effective. And like Adam said, you don't have to bring anything up. Trust me, the minute you message people, one of the first things they're going to say is either, what's up with this coaching thing? What's up with the health thing? Or they're going to say, what's new with you? Well, what's new with you is you're helping lots of people get healthy. So why wouldn't you mention that right away? And it's just mentioning it to mention it. It's not mentioning it to just don't have an agenda. Be genuine, be real. Every single person that you're messaging is a treasure. Kim Fisk always says that, all of these people that we know are a treasure, and we need to treat them that way. And so if you're just messaging to message to do this, it probably will come off inauthentic. So you really want to do this from the heart.
And it all goes back to living out loud and being authentic. If you're doing that and people know what you're doing, then they're going to ask. But if you're not, they're not going to know what you're doing. So they're not going to ask. Yeah. So just it all, there's a pattern to it all.
Yeah. If you hear us saying like, oh yeah, people just ask us, and you're like, gosh, nobody asked me. Maybe sit down with your mentor and, look at your Facebook profile. And I think it's Doug Wood. He says, like, if a jury of your peers, like if you were on trial, would a jury of your peers convict you as a health coach? And I think that's a good question to ask yourself. Like, look at your Facebook profile, not as you, just like, as someone else, a fly on the wall, and think, if I was looking at this person's profile, would I know what they do? Would I know what they're passionate about? So I think that's a good way to kind of check yourself a bit.
Do's and don'ts. I love this one. Do not send website information or price information through text, email, or chat. Always take it to the phone. Do not let your clients place their own first order. Do follow up weekly with those that did not get back to you. Do not get frustrated or blame yourself if they are not ready to start right now. Do have as much fun as possible. That's very, very do. Do attend every event you qualify for, especially Go Global, National Convention, and Sundance. This is key, you guys. Attend every event. I don't care if it's, at somebody's house in their backyard or if it's across the globe. Go, because it'll change everything. One of the don'ts I said, website information, price, all that stuff. Sometimes we feel like when somebody reaches out to us, we want to we want to reel them in. We want to get them. So we're like, okay, well, what can I say? Keep it short, keep it simple. Hey, I'm a health coach. I'd love to tell you more. Let me know when you have some time. Everybody will say they don't have time. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people will. And, you wait till they're ready.
And something that, if you need an example, like examples always help me. So I have tons of people who will say straight up, how much is it? And you don't want to seem as if you're avoiding the question or trying to keep a secret. So what I say is, you know what, it's super dependent on what you're trying to achieve. And so it'd be a lot easier for us to just chat on the phone. You can tell me exactly what you're looking for, and then I'll let you know the price. Or I'll say, but I find that it's actually really cost neutral or really affordable, or else I wouldn't have been able to do it myself. So don't feel pressure. I know when I was new, I felt a lot of pressure when people asked me questions to answer them as quickly as possible. Let me tell you that if they are going to do this, they're going to do this. So they're going to do it whether or not, just don't feel pressure. Just know that if people are ready and they want to do it, they're going to do it. Having them wait 24 hours until you get on the phone isn't going to make someone do something else. Okay. So just know that and get comfortable with that. Okay.
And again, if you're building those relationships with people, you're building that trust, they'll be ready when you're ready for them.
Yeah. And if they're not ready, that's okay too. Because if you have a credit card thrower, a lot of us have found that with credit card throwers, they're just ready to do whatever the next thing is. It's not necessarily going to stick. So I've had a lot of credit card throwers fall off and then come back when they're really ready to take it seriously. So just know and just remind yourself that if they're meant to do it now, they'll do it now. Okay. All right. And good luck. So as we've tried to stress, consistency is really key, you guys. So don't back off because you feel like you're not getting a good enough response. Don't back off because people aren't liking or commenting. Don't back off. It truly is about consistency. I post before and after. I used to post them twice a week. Now I post them once a day, but I post once a day because I post a lot on Facebook. So it doesn't seem unnatural to post that much about health either. Okay.
Yeah. Be proud of what you're doing. You guys are health coaches. You guys are serious about this, or else you wouldn't be up this early on this training right now. So tell people about it. Tell them what you're excited about. Stay excited. The more excited you are, the more people are going to be drawn to you. So tell everybody. I used to say, oh, I'm a painter. And then, yeah, I'm kind of, a health coach too. Like okay, cool. Like nobody wants to come to you for health information when you're like, oh, well, I kind of help people get healthy or whatever. Like, okay, great. Now it's like everybody knows I'm a health coach. You can ask somebody, that barely even knows me. Oh, he does something with health. Like Emily said, jury of your peers, make sure it's known, tell everybody about what you're doing because we're excited about it. So be really proud. You're helping people.
Yeah. And just don't have an agenda with people. Just be authentic. If you can feel it. I'm sure you guys have maybe been messaged or friended by people who maybe also have like an at-home business who definitely have an agenda, and it just feels yucky. And we don't want to give people that yucky feeling. We just want people to know that we care and we're there when they're ready. So definitely leave the agenda at the at the Facebook door.
Yeah. It's the reason why people don't want to answer the door when somebody knocks that you don't know. You're like, oh, I don't know what they're selling and I don't want to say no, so I'm just going to not answer. So you don't want to be that person.
All right, guys. So we have some time left, which I wanted because I'm hoping that people have questions, because I actually love questions. So either in the chat or unmute yourself if you have any comments, takeaways, roadblocks, whatever it is. Was this helpful?
So it's Jane Buckley. I appreciate the radiant silence.
I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jen.
So I loved so this, it's cost effective, cost neutral, that otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
That just totally blew my mind away. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's the line that I want to start using, because that totally puts the fear out. So that was awesome. That was one of my huge takeaways. And then also I wrote it down. Everyone you message is a treasure. That is awesome. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Oh, good. I love that. I'm the same. Like, I really need an example of what to say so that I can make it my own. And I think, that's something that I don't know where I got it from, but it's really stuck and it's been very helpful. And it seems like people get on the phone more now because I say that. I have no problem getting people on the phone anymore. And I used to. And I think it was because I was projecting. I could feel their stuff and then I'd project it back. And then we would just make this big ball of weird. And so now we don't have that.
And when you treat people like, they're special and they're a treasure, then even if they don't do the program, when something comes up, you're going to be on their mind, and they're going to send you referrals, or they're going to contact you and say, hey, I just wanted some advice. My dad, he's diabetic, blah, 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 and they'll come around. So, don't think of it as like, oh, I reached out to that person and blah, blah, blah. That's a waste, that's like the worst way to approach it. And
thinking of people like a treasure reminds you that even if they don't sign up, we don't disappear from their lives, you guys. Like, we wrote them down on our list for a reason, because we care, because we know they're struggling maybe financially, or, you see your friends posting about, oh, it's Monday. It breaks my heart to drop my kid off at daycare. Like, are you kidding? That makes me want to help them even more. So if they're not interested in the program right now, it doesn't mean I'm going to go away. I'm going to still message them. I'm going to check in on them because I care. Like, I don't only care if they're interested. I care no matter what. And I think that's just the biggest thing. People can feel whether you're being genuine or not. So find a reason, to care. So thank you, Jen.
Hey guys, I got a question.
Sure. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? How do you get past people that are extremely negative? They're on the program as far as coaching, getting them to coach. They're on the program, they're struggling financially, they're curious, they're interested about coaching, but their chatter is, ginormous. So how do you, what's a couple tips maybe you can give for that?
Are they being negative? Like, their chatter is about not having money to coach, or their chatter is, what's their chatter?
Their chatter is like, every new coach, how am I going to get people, my family, they're going to see some selling, all that stuff. And just their, self-esteem is just terrible, and they've had a hard life, and, they just see everything on the dark side.
Sure. So, I think the first thing is definitely being able to sit and listen and really understand their chatter. But I think the key is moving past that. So I think it's really easy for all of us to sit and listen to someone express how they feel. but I think the difficulty becomes how to move through it. Because if we just sit in it, nothing changes, right? So I think it's about making sure that they understand that you get it, but then redirecting them back to why they started,
What they want.
and what they want. And is the want and the need more than the chatter, or is the chatter louder?
Right.
And I'm very real, and a lot of times I've had the same chatter. So I think it's just about saying, you know what, we've all been there. We've all felt that way. But do you want to sit with your chatter and not help people, or do you want to help as many people as you can? And I think it's just about having that trust and that relationship with your coach to be able to gently push them when they need it. I don't know if that's
Yes, it does. Thank you.
okay.
Nancy?
I'll unmute you, Nancy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to add that I was responding to some of my likes. They always say go after the likes. And I was responding to a girlfriend that I had worked with last year for the reunion when I didn't have time to coach and all that kind of stuff, who was really at goal. And so I was just contacting her to ask her if she knew anybody, if she could refer them. And I was blown away when she said, well, I want to lose 5 to 10 pounds. And I said, what? And she goes, yeah. And so, after our discussion, I found out, she exercises all the time. That's why I thought she was at goal. And so we're putting her on a 4 and 2, and she's starting on Monday. So it's like, don't assume
Yes.
that people are where they want to be.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add that because that was like so enlightening to me.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful, Nancy. And I think that's the way we should go into every touch on somebody is with no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Definitely no prejudgments. And it's funny because those people still kind of surprise me too, even though I know that this program is great for anybody. I still get surprised sometimes. It's good for me.
And then reaching out to your mentor coach, because like I was going, so you can't stop exercising. Well, let me talk to my mentor coach and find out how we do this.
Yeah.
And, Sherry's the one who told me, oh yeah, we can do the 4 and 2. That's perfect for her.
Yeah.
So knowing that there's a solution no matter where they're at.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't assume that because someone maybe looks healthy to you on the outside that they're healthy on the inside either. Because how many friends have I had who I think they look skinny, and then they hit me up and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted and I'm just not eating the right stuff. Like, do you think you can help me, or is it just about losing weight? So, it's for anybody. It's
Right.
for anybody who's too busy to eat healthy and they're eating crap and they feel terrible. It's for anybody.
Right.
That's wonderful. Yeah. But also good to ask the whole like, oh, is this for you or someone you know thing? Because you don't want to assume it must be for someone else and it's for them, or vice versa. So very good.
Emily, can I ask you a question? How are you? Thank you for the training. What are your thoughts on Synduit being that it posts every day?
I love it, but I think you need to be someone who posts quite often for it to seem natural. If you are not someone who's posting more than 1 or 2 non-health related things a day, I think it's going to seem a little unnatural to post something health related every single day if you're not active.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using it and I love it as well, but sometimes I think it's just, too much. But we can't change it to like every other day or something like that.
Yeah. I think a good way to balance that, because I was actually thinking of this the other day, is to do I love the recipes because we all eat every day and people love the recipes. I have people sharing my recipes that I'm like, who is this person? I don't remember them ever liking anything or adding them or anything, but
People love food.
They love it. And healthy, like, oh my God, you could do this and make it healthy. And they'll comment on stuff and tag their friends. So the recipes are cool every day, and then maybe use Hootsuite to do your before and afters a couple times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Or you
It's a good
could,
idea.
yeah, you could do one of the motivational quote campaigns
yeah.
and a recipe campaign. And then you could save the before and afters for Hootsuite. I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah, and we post all the time, so it's not like I don't really mind having a before and after post every day, because people by now really know what we do, and I post so many pictures of being out with the kids and all that stuff. So it's all of what you're comfortable with.
And talk with your mentor coach about what's right for you, because maybe spending $29 a month isn't a great idea if you're not certified yet. So don't think, please, nobody on this call think that, oh, the key to my success is signing up for Synduit. Like, that's not going to explode your business unless you're at a certain point. So that, check in with your mentors. That's what we're here for, and we'll guide you. But definitely I think getting, other things like getting certified or getting to an event is going to take precedence over spending $29 a month on
Yeah.
Hootsuite.
Yeah, use your mentorship. They're just waiting for you to reach out. Trust me. Like, yeah, you're not bothering anybody. Like, they're paid to help you. So get their help. Seriously, use them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else? We have a couple minutes. I love questions. Da, 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 da. Just kidding. All right. So we will post the playback in the document in your boot camp. You can always message us on Facebook if you have other questions, or in the group, whatever, we're available. So Facebook has just helped us a ton. And if you are maybe someone who doesn't get out a lot because you live in an isolated area, or if you're a stay-at-home mom and it feels like you live in an isolated area because your home becomes your hub, Facebook has been an amazing tool for me to continue to reach people that I otherwise wouldn't, because there were days on end that I maybe wouldn't leave the house. And I wanted to spread the word, but it was like, oh my God, I can't even get out of the house with these kids. So Facebook is an amazing tool if you work it. So we are here for you. Just let us know if you need anything, okay? Bye.